Mary Padian was one of those people you couldn't forget on Storage Wars, with her quirky charm and a magical knack for turning junk into gold. She was the kind of person who made you stop and watch, whether she was bidding on storage units filled with mystery or transforming rusty antiques into jaw-dropping creations. Mary always brought something special to the show. But then, just like that, she disappeared from the spotlight. No big farewell, no announcement, just off the screen. It left fans wondering what happened to Mary. Did she leave the storage locker world for good? Is she still hunting for treasures? Mary Padian didn't grow up dreaming of bidding wars or dusty storage units filled with mysterious treasures, but life has a funny way of taking us down unexpected roads. Born on August 24, 1980, in Dallas, Texas, Mary was always the creative type. Did you know that Mary comes from a family with a little bit of a showbiz background? Her father, John Padian, was a well-known businessman, but her mother, Teresa, had an interesting career as a Texas real estate agent. Maybe that's where Mary learned to spot the hidden potential in things. It seems like a family trait to see value where others don't. She had an eye for beauty in the simplest things, which makes sense when you hear where she started, behind the lens of a camera. She studied photojournalism at the University of Texas at Austin, where she learned to capture stories with just one click. After finishing college, Mary Padian's first big step in the professional world took her straight to the heart of New York City. Can you imagine a small-town girl from Texas suddenly in the big leagues, working as an assistant editor at Architectural Digest, one of the most prestigious design magazines out there? It was like stepping into a world of luxury, creativity, and cutting-edge design. She was surrounded by high-end furniture, swanky interiors, and beautiful spaces. It seemed like the dream job for anyone who had a passion for design. Do you ever find yourself noticing things others don't, like old buildings or forgotten items with potential? That's how Mary felt every time she walked through New York streets or flipped through design magazines. She knew there was something to be said about vintage, about the stories behind the things people tossed aside. Even though Mary was in this glamorous world, something felt off. She loved the creativity, sure, but New York was fast, and it didn't have the same charm that she grew up with. She wasn't just interested in the shiny, expensive stuff. She found herself drawn to the old, the worn-out, the hidden treasures that others overlooked. She could spot beauty in an old wooden chair or a rusty sign the moment others might pass them by. As much as she loved design, the fast-paced city life wasn't exactly a perfect fit for Mary. She missed the hands-on creativity and the thrill of discovering something unexpected. That's when she had a light bulb moment. Why just admire beautiful things when you can create them? That's when it hit her. She didn't just want to admire design, she wanted to create it. And so, Mary started shifting her focus and headed back to Texas, where she opened a small boutique called Mary's Finds. Her shop became a treasure trove of vintage pieces, upcycled furniture, and quirky antiques. Think junkyard meets art gallery. But Mary didn't just sell stuff, she told stories through every piece she curated. Funny how a girl with a camera in New York ended up digging through storage units in Texas, right? But that's just the beginning of her story. As a young woman, Mary Padian was already catching eyes, not just because of her infectious personality, but because she had that unique blend of beauty and brains. Her quick wit and infectious smile made her stand out, but it was her eye for hidden gems that really set her apart. In spite of her undeniable charm and beauty, rumors about Mary's relationship status have always been a bit of a mystery. Fans have often speculated about her love life, especially with how captivating and magnetic she is on screen. Her mystery relies on her being on a reality show where relationships and personal drama often take center stage. Mary has always kept her personal life just that, personal. Maybe it's because she was so focused on her passion for vintage finds and building her business, or maybe it's because Mary just likes to keep things private. But the truth is, she was rarely seen with a partner before she made it onto Storage Wars. Some fans even started to wonder, how is someone like her not in a relationship? After all, she had all the qualities people look for, beautiful, smart, and fun to be around. But Mary's focus was always more on the things that truly lit her up, like her shop Mary's Finds and her creative ventures. She seemed to find fulfillment in building something for herself rather than seeking out a relationship that could distract her from her goals. Though there were no major headlines or gossip about her love life before the show, that didn't stop her from becoming a fan favorite. Her charm and warm personality made her incredibly likable, and it wasn't long before people were asking, is Mary seeing anyone? But even when the cameras rolled, she maintained a sense of mystery when it came to her relationships, and who could blame her? Now, onto something that will surprise you. Believe it or not, before she became the star we all know from Storage Wars, she actually won an online Most Likely to Become a Reality TV Star award. Sounds pretty wild, right? Who could have predicted that a quirky young woman running a vintage shop in Texas would one day be rummaging through storage units on TV? But it turns out the signs were already there. It's almost like fate was giving Mary Padian a little nudge before she even knew what was coming. So when Mary won the most likely to become a reality TV star award online, it felt like a sign that her destiny was already being written. You could almost hear the universe whispering, "Get ready, Mary, something big is coming." It wasn't long after that she got the call to join Storage Wars, Texas, and everything seemed to fall into place. It was like that award wasn't just a fun little prediction, it was more like an early clue that Mary was on the path to something extraordinary. She was already being noticed, already standing out, and when the producers spotted her in 2012, it was a perfect match. It was the perfect opportunity for her, her chance to take her love of treasure hunting to a whole new level. When she first joined the cast, it didn't take long for her to show viewers exactly why she was such a great fit for the show. In fact, she quickly became a fan favorite. From the moment she appeared on screen, Mary's creative finds were unlike anything fans had seen before. She didn't just look for valuable items, she looked for the weird, the quirky, and the items that would make people say, "Whoa, that's actually really cool." Her eye for potential was unmatched, a skill not everyone has, and it's part of what made her so captivating to watch. But it wasn't just the treasure she found that got people hooked, it was her. Mary had this infectious energy that made it impossible not to root for her. Whether she was jumping into a bidding war, cracking jokes, or showing off her latest find, you couldn't help but be drawn to her. Whether she was jumping into a bidding war, cracking jokes, or showing off her latest find, you couldn't help but be drawn to her. She was relatable, funny, and a little bit unpredictable, which made for some great TV moments. Although she wasn't an original cast member, Mary quickly became one of the most recognizable faces on the show, earning a loyal fan base thanks to her vibrant personality and knack for finding hidden treasures. In Storage Wars, Texas, the premise was similar to the original Storage Wars. Bidders would compete against each other for the contents of abandoned storage units, often hoping to find valuable items that had been left behind. Mary's unique skill set stood out from the rest. She had an amazing ability to spot potential in seemingly useless or discarded items, and she could turn even the most junked-out finds into something valuable. Her relationships with her fellow cast members also added an extra layer to the show. She had a playful, sometimes competitive dynamic with her fellow bidders, and fans loved to watch the friendly rivalry unfold. Her chemistry with the rest of the cast, like the gruff but lovable Ricky and the savvy and witty Ivy, whom she refers to as her BFF, created some of the best moments of the show. Mary's debut on Storage Wars, Texas was just the beginning of what became a standout career on the show. She didn't just become a regular, she became the Junkster, a title she wore proudly. And it's no surprise, her enthusiasm was contagious, her instincts were sharp, and her finds were nothing short of impressive. You never knew what she'd pull out next, but you knew it was going to be good. After making her mark on Storage Wars, Texas, Mary Padian's journey took an exciting turn when she joined the original Storage Wars show in its 5th season in 2014. That's when things really started to take off for her. Fans who had already fallen in love with her on the spin-off were thrilled to see her bring her infectious energy to the main show, and it didn't take long for her to carve out a place for herself among the veteran bidders. While the other bidders were focused on big-ticket items, Mary's eye was drawn to the quirky, unexpected finds. Whether it was a vintage lamp, a dusty old painting, or an assortment of oddball items, Mary could always see the potential in things others might overlook. She didn't just see junk, she saw hidden gems waiting to be polished up and given a new life. As the seasons went on, Mary became more and more integral to the show. She was no longer just a guest star, she was a key buyer, appearing in multiple seasons and building a reputation as someone who could be counted on to bring both excitement and success to the bidding wars. Her combination of hard work, creativity, and that unmistakable energy made her a standout on Storage Wars. And of course, who could forget her dynamic with the other cast members? From her playful rivalry with Dave Hester to her friendly banter with Brandy and Jared, Mary always brought her authentic self to the show, creating some of the most memorable moments. It wasn't just about the treasures, it was about the people, the personalities, and the way Mary's good-natured approach made the whole experience more enjoyable to watch. After 12 seasons, Storage Wars aired its series finale in January 2019, bringing an end to an era. But Mary's impact on the show will never be forgotten. While Mary Padian became a household name through her time on Storage Wars, there's a side to her life that doesn't make it onto the cameras as often, her deep connection to her family and her entrepreneurial spirit. She has always been open about how close she is to her family, and that definitely includes her siblings. Known for being the bright, camera-ready star on Storage Wars, her bond with her siblings is something that she holds near and dear. Family has always been her foundation, and she often talks about how her siblings have played a huge role in shaping who she is today. What many might not know is how dedicated Mary is to her business beyond the world of Storage Wars. While she's known for her shop Mary's Finds, her entrepreneurial spirit runs deep. She's a driven woman who's always thinking about ways to innovate, expand, and grow her brand. The shop isn't just a place to sell vintage items, it's her passion project, a place where she pours her creativity into every item, making sure each piece has a story to tell. She's not just about finding treasures, she's about turning those treasures into something people can appreciate in a new light. But her life outside the cameras is also about balance. Mary has made it clear that while she loves what she does and thrives in the fast-paced world of TV and business, she knows how important it is to take time for herself. She loves spending time with her loved ones and staying grounded, even when the limelight is shining down on her. She was at her peak, riding high on the success of Storage Wars, capturing hearts with her unique blend of charm, humor, and an eye for treasure. Fans couldn't get enough of her, and it seemed like Mary Padian was everywhere. Then, as swift as she came into the spotlight, she vanished. One moment, she was bidding on storage units and making viewers laugh, and the next, she was off the show. Fans were left scratching their heads. Why did Mary leave? And where did she go? It wasn't a typical exit, no shocking drama or public feuds. Instead, it was more like a quiet shift in direction, one that left fans wondering what happened behind the scenes. It wasn't an easy decision, but Mary had her reasons. Her departure was a natural shift in priorities as her life and career evolved. So after the Storage Wars finale in 2019, you might have thought that we would no longer hear from Mary Padian as she disappeared from the show, but nope, she was just getting started. Life after the show has been an exciting chapter for Mary, and she's been busy expanding her horizons in all kinds of cool ways. First up, let's talk about Mary's Finds. With the end of Storage Wars, Mary went full throttle into growing her vintage shop. She had always been passionate about finding treasures, and now she had even more time to focus on her business. She didn't just stop at her physical shop, she expanded her online presence, giving more people the chance to shop her handpicked vintage items. Whether it's quirky furniture, unique decor, or one-of-a-kind finds, Mary's Finds became a go-to for people looking to add a little personality to their homes. The transition from TV star to businesswoman felt like a natural move, and Mary made it her own. But that's not all. Mary has kept her social media game strong. She's super active on Instagram, where she shares everything from DIY projects to her latest vintage treasures. It's like getting a peek behind the scenes of Mary's Finds and her personal life. Fans get to see her passion for design, her love for cooking, and even a few personal updates here and there. It's not just about promoting her business, it's about staying connected to her audience and sharing what makes her tick. You can tell that Mary enjoys engaging with her followers and showing off her creative side. Plus, she's always got that same infectious energy that made her such a hit on Storage Wars. Aside from running her business and posting her latest finds, Mary also makes occasional public appearances. Whether she's attending vintage markets, participating in pop-up events, or connecting with fans at special meet and greets, she's still very much a part of the vintage and interior design world. It's like she never really left, it's just that now, she's on her own terms. People still love to meet the woman behind the treasure hunting persona, and Mary enjoys getting the chance to interact with her fans in real life. In all these busy lifestyles, it seems our girl Mary still knows how to take a breather. With juggling her thriving business, her public appearances, and her social media presence, she's managed to keep a solid relationship with her boyfriend, Dylan, whom she met a few years ago. While Mary might not be married yet, she and Dylan seem to have built a strong, supportive bond. They've managed to keep their relationship relatively low-key, which is probably why fans don't see much of him on her social media or in the public eye. But from what we do see, it's clear that Dylan is someone who values her space, supports her passions, and is a big part of her life. Whether they're exploring new places, sharing quiet moments together, or enjoying her vintage finds, Mary and Dylan's relationship seems to be in a good place, built on love and mutual respect. Mary Padian and Dylan reportedly met a few years ago, but not much is known about the exact details of their first meeting. It seems that they hit it off quickly, with Mary mentioning him occasionally in social media posts. They've kept the beginning of their relationship relatively private, and Mary has never gone into too much detail about how they met. However, she's made it clear that Dylan is someone special to her. Fans first started to find out about Mary's relationship when she posted a few pictures of them together on her Instagram. Mary tends to share personal moments on her social media, and her followers picked up on the subtle hints about Dylan over time. Fans began to recognize him in her posts, and that's how most of her audience learned about her boyfriend. Dylan's appearances on Mary's social media have remained pretty low-key, and it's clear that Mary values the privacy she's shared. Glimpses of their relationship, like moments from vacations, casual outings, or just the two of them relaxing at home, have been shared. But while some fans were curious about the details of their relationship, Mary has always been respectful of their private life, letting her fans enjoy her posts without oversharing. So while Mary hasn't made a big public announcement about how they met, it's clear that their relationship is strong. Fans have come to appreciate the glimpses into her personal life, and it's refreshing to see that she's kept things real, focusing on her career, her passions, and her connection with Dylan. But here's the thing. Given how much we've come to know about Mary over the years, we can't help but wonder what's next for her and Dylan. Will we see more of their relationship in the future, or will they continue to keep things under wraps? Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure, Mary's journey, both in love and in life, never fails to leave us curious about what's coming next.